This is Child Crest, and today we shall be taking a look at some myths and misconceptions that people have about the feeding habits of the growing child. We have a nutritionist in-house that will be debunking some of these myths and misconceptions. First, let's go for this short break. When we come back, we meet my guests. Hello, my pleasure to welcome you to this edition of Child Crest.
It's either the food you take in, the nutrients in it, gives you a good health or result in diseases and most cases death.
If you don't eat right, definitely the child will not come out right.
Nutritional problem is big problem in our society.
Breast milk is enough and adequate in nutrients.
The placenta is the channel of nutrition between the mother and the unborn child.
In other words, food is the key to life.
It's my pleasure to welcome to the set of the Child Crest Mr. Shokon Ushokbe. He's a nutritionist with Military Hospital, Ikoyi. You're welcome to Child Crest.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Now, holistically, let's look at nutrition, particularly the way we have it in the local parlance. You know that our parents, they had different meaning to nutrition than this millennium or digital parents, the way we have it. Any difference between the way we were nurtured and now?
There are quite a significant difference when you look at the way the older generation, so to say, grows and in line with nutrition and what is applicable today. And if you look at the whole generations, or those that involve us, so to say, there is a common practice that what you just need is food. The morning, the afternoon, the evening, once your food is dished, so far you've eaten, and it doesn't really matter what the type of food that is coming to the table. But these days, we thanks to science and novel enlightenment, we get to realize that there are some basic nutrition that must be present in the food before you could say that the food is well balanced, yes. And outside that, we also now get to recognize and to identify the performance and holistic development of a child linked to the type of diet such a child is given, unlike what is applicable before now. You grow, so to say, give the chances of what type of food you're giving. Mm-hmm. But now our food is more like tailored to make sure that the child derived the basic nutrients that he or she really requires to grow.
But the same parents will tell you that we didn't have much of diseases those days. We didn't have children, falling sick, even with the unstructured menu that they give, because you see parents giving by in the morning, curry in the afternoon, fufu in the night, and they still had healthy children. How do you explain that?
Take plus or minuses. If you look at that, there is a lot of area we could fault in such. One is that in those days, you hardly get reports. Children that are sick are taken care of too, and if at all if there's anything happening, and you will not get to know about it in the larger world. Another thing is that those ones that are not, as a result, maybe by the nutrition, they are not feeding well. They didn't get to optimize their potential, and those people get to dropped by the wayside. And now you could easily identify that family are now judged by the success of the member of those family.
Some people also argue that back in the villages or the way we have it, they have things fresh, natural things, as against this synthetic kind of feeding that we have. And probably that's why, as much as they're not reporting, we had very low cases of ailments.
That is equally true. But at the same time, in as much as those things are fresh, in as much as they are getting it in the natural form, we still look at how are those things being combined? What is the proportion that has been fed on? So those also is they are very critical. And it is just by sheer coincidence that I will say some people that they got it right.
Interesting. Let's take this break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of those myths and misconceptions that surround the feeding habits of the growing child.
Why are you not eating? If you are not hungry, why waste the food?
Mommy, this is what I ate earlier in the day. I don't want to eat a bone soup now.
Hey, that is what I have. If you are not okay with it, leave it.
Madam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my sister.
Madam, why is your baby crying while eating?
My sister, she is not hungry yet. When she's hungry, she will eat.
Auntie, this is what I ate in the morning and afternoon. I just want to eat a bone soup now.
Hey, well, that is what I have. If you don't want it, then you are on your own.
Madam, it is the right of a child to have proper nutrition and nourishment. The nutrition of a child helps in the growth, psychology, even the academic performance while in school.
But if when I don't get money, what am I going to do now?
Preparing a nutritious meal is not expensive at all. It's all about having the right combination of food. Anyway, you see, government have agencies which teach parents, especially mothers, on how to go about this. They also send healthcare workers to supervise you. My sister, make sure you give your child food with enough energy and protein for proper development. Food that contains iron.
My sister, thanks for the information. It is an eye-opener. From now on, I will try my best for the future of our children.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome back. The program is Child Crest. We're looking at nutrition here, still running the series. At this point, we'd like to take a look at some of the myths and misconceptions. We have looked at how it was in the past, how children are just fed with different combinations without looking at it scientifically. So our guest in the studio, Mr. Shokon Moshokpe, nutritionist with Military Hospital, Ikoyi, Lagos. You're welcome back again to the program.
Thank you very much.
From your practice, can you identify some myths and misconceptions about the feeding habits of the growing child before I start unraveling them for you?
Well, we have quite a number of them. But the one that I think it is very prominent is the issue of the children getting enough protein. And that is that surrounds the habit of giving children the quantity of milk which we think they rightly deserved.
Let's take it even from the time of birth. We've had series here that we hear that breastfeeding is quite good for the baby. That's what we practice, exclusive breastfeeding, baby-friendly initiative. There's this first milk. We hear that the mother produced for the baby. I think it's called colostrum. What's the benefit of this? Because the myths and misconceptions surrounding it is that, oh, this is dirty product. Let's throw it away. It's not good. I don't know if you've been confronted with this.
Very well. I'm very elated to have this opportunity to reach out to people, especially fathers, because I think we have a role to even play there. Despite the fact that it's the mother that secreted that colostrum. The colostrum is very, very, very important part of the mammary secretion that the baby first have the contact with. The first thing you will notice is that the color of that colostrum is quite different from the milk. The first milk that the mother produces come out and it's a bit yellowish in color. And this is because this colostrum is very rich in vitamins and highly rich in what we call probiotics. And also it build the immune system of that baby at that early stage. So it is the first things that the baby gets contact with. And it's not a part of milk that flow for long. So that is why it is very essential. The baby gets it at that time. So the belief is that perhaps because of the color. They believe that, yes. So, and that is why I'm calling on fathers that they have the role to play. Once the baby comes, that is the first food that he needs to be fed with. And by no means should the baby be deprived of that, because the consequences of that is grievous. If a baby does not get that, that means that from that early stage, the immune system of that baby has been compromised. Another thing is that, as I've said, very rich in vitamins and minerals. That baby at that stage needs a food or the combination of the minerals that are tailored with his genetically made up. And that you are getting from the mother. Direct. So this also kickstarts, so to say, the process of development in the baby. So if the baby misses that opportunity, it might be in the later future that deficiency will now be manifesting, and unfortunately, we might not be able to correct.
We still hear reports that grandmothers and people, relatives say, no. From the antenatal, the practice, what's the success rate so far that women are complying with it?
The success rate is going up, but not at the rate at which the practitioner will want it to be. And that is why at this point I'm soliciting the support of the fathers. Because they know mothers or wife, so to say, who might not have that audacity to stamp their feet and say, I want to do this, especially in those semi-literate or illiterate parents. So where the in-laws have influence on the mother. So if the husband put down his foot and say, yes, this ought to be done, then the party has no choice but to back down and allow it to. So the mothers, yes, but what the situation where he found herself in the family where such a thing is not encouraged. So that is where the problem is. For those people that are enlightened enough, we'll be getting positive results. I also solicit the support of the father also. It's parts of the life that if you have your child, allow the free flow of the milk towards the baby.
There are so many other myths and misconceptions, but this colostrum we talk about, is this something peradventure that a woman has undergone a cesarean section, for instance? Is it something she can still produce for the baby to benefit from?
Yes, this colostrum is a outplay of the hormonal system. So during the course of pregnancy, the body has already kickstarted that process. And so even going through the cesarean section does not debar the mother, except the rate of recovery after that such operation is not that rapid as to enable her to do that. But if she's strong enough, she should be encouraged to let the baby have the milk. At times you get reports that the baby is not sucking. The baby doesn't suck. So we also advise mothers to extract that milk and keep. And you will see that the baby, even if it's not the first, let's say 12 hours, if it's not taken, before you see the 24 hours time or 36 hours time, the baby to ask for food, and such milk should be given. Okay.
Part of the myth and misconception is that mothers, grandmothers, relatives say, exclusive breast milk, forget. Give my baby water. Give my baby water. Don't starve my baby. Is that not correct?
Yes, that's very true.
We're talking about that. That will be another session entirely. We'd like to thank you very much for coming on Child Crest.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
We'll call you back to expand and expatiate on other myths and misconceptions surrounding the feeding of the child.
I would love to do that.
Well, let's go back to other segments of the program now. Our nutritionist is waiting in the kitchen to give us, some tips on how we can prepare nutritious meal for our children, the growing child. We'll be back shortly.
Hello, you are welcome to Child Crest Kitchen. My name is Temitope Sikiru. We'll be looking at different food groups that we have to help the growing child. A child has been on breast milk alone for the past 6 months will have to be introduced gradually to home food. And this home food, we have different groups. We have the staple that we know as carbohydrates, and we can see all different food that make up this group. Apart from the staples, we have our protein. The protein is actually divided into two. We have the animal protein and the plant protein. From there, we get to the next one. That's our fruits and vegetables. That's the vitamins. We have our fruits, our vegetables. We have our tomatoes. We have our palm oil. The palm oil is actually fat and oil, but it's not needed in large quantities. It's needed in minute quantities. For this particular one, it shouldn't be added in much quantity to the food. And we want to say that for a child to actually have adequate diet, a child at a particular meal should be able to have at least one from each food group. Today, we are going to be preparing semolina pudding. And preparing that will actually give us a 2-star meal. But we are encouraged that for every child to have adequate meal, the child needs at least 4-star meal at a table. So when we now make this semolina pudding as 2-star meal, we are going to give that particular child fruit to go along with it and make it now 3-star. So if a child can actually have 3 or 4-star meal at a table, we are sure that the issue of malnutrition or undernutrition will be a thing of the past. So join me as we go about preparing our semolina pudding. To make our semolina pudding, we're going to need our semolina flour, which we have here, as we can see. Then we are going to need our milk. And talking about milk, we are talking about growing children. So we are always particular about the kind of milk we give to these children. We don't do adult milk, we do actually infant formula. So milk for age. So from 6 months to 1 year, there's a particular milk that's meant for age. And from 1 year to 3 years, there's a particular milk made for. So we don't do adult milk for children, as long as they're still between 0 to 3 years. What we're going to do now, you're going to follow me and we'll start preparing our semolina pudding. I'm going to add semolina flour to the already boiling hot water. So I'm going to be adding it gradually. As I'm adding, I'm stirring so that there won't be lumps. We know that children, when there are lumps, and especially for growing children, it might not be easy for them to swallow. So to make that there's no lump, as you're adding the powder, you are stirring continuously. And remember, for children from 6 months and above, the consistency shouldn't be too thick. Not too thick and not too watery. You can decide to be creative with your semolina pudding. I said this one we are doing now is just 2-star. But you can make it more if you wish. You can actually add palm oil, and you can also add butter, margarine, anything to your semolina pudding. I'm talking about 2-star. I'm sure you'll be wondering, what do we mean by star when we're talking about food? Each food group actually means a star. Our staple food is 1 star. Plant protein is a star, making 2 star. Animal protein is a star. So all this food, they are 1 star each. Now my semol is ready. All I need to do now is to add my baby milk. I said that for children we don't do adult milk because the digestive system is immature enough, cannot digest the protein that is contained in adult milk. That's why we're using baby milk for children. So we got milk for age. And if you notice, I didn't actually dilute the milk in any water. I just added directly. If you stir consistently, there won't be any lump, as you can see. And don't forget too, I did not add sugar, neither did I add honey. For children between 6 months to 2 years, no need to add sugar and no need to add honey. The baby milk already contains lactose, the sugar in milk, which will make it taste very nice. And like I said, we are going to make this one free, and in the sense that we are going to give the child fruit after the semolina pudding. So, I'm good. My semolina pudding is ready. Yeah, I'm ready to serve now. Really, for children 6 months to 2 years, we need to get a small bowl for them. But in the absence of a small bowl, we are using this as to improvise. So you are going to serve your baby food. And you know that for such age, they might not be able to take a large portion, like 250 mils or 300 mils should be okay. Talking about creativity, we can do a lot with our semolina pudding. Some mothers can actually start to make semolina pudding with ewedu soup. You make your ewedu, it goes with semolina pudding, and the child is good to go. And for those that wouldn't like to take ewedu, you can do okra with semolina pudding. I actually love okra. It's very rich in iron and some other vital nutrients. So semolina pudding and okra can go together. Just that you need to blend the okra because of the seed for the growing child. So semolina pudding is the meal for today, and I'm sure that you would also want to try it, and it's actually very good. 2-star meal, and don't forget I said it must go with a fruit. So we can do watermelon, orange, apple, carrot, or banana, so that the child can have adequate meal in terms of quality and quantity. Thank you very much.
You're welcome back. The program is Child Crest. Let's meet the children in their natural habitat, their enclave. They must play. In as much as you deprive them, they will find one way or the other to play. Let's see them play.
Play in a child's life is very important because it helps the child to develop physically, it helps to strengthen their bones, and also to communicate and interact with other children. Play is very important in a child's life because it makes them to socialize. Because if a child does not socialize, the child ends up being timid and loses self-esteem. But when they play together, they learn from one another. They learn how to be friends and also to share. Play also makes the child to learn things that ordinarily he will not have learned. And also, play helps a child to develop his psychomotor domain because all the parts of the child is being put into action.
It's a wrap. We just have to call it a day. Child Crest, it has been. Let's do it again same time next week. We shall bring you a fresh edition of the program. Child Crest, and it is all about the child. See you then.